Hi everybody, welcome to our next lesson about following Jesus. Today we're going to talk about serving. In order to follow Jesus the way that He has called us to, we need to have an attitude of service. Now that's a really positive thing, because if you can grasp having the right attitude, then you can take that into your marriage, you can take that to your school, into your relationships, you can take that into your workplace. And you can certainly take it into your community of faith. Now, I want to read you a short little excerpt from a letter that the Apostle Paul, who was really kind of the first church planter, wrote to his protege, Timothy, when he talked about how to serve. So if you have a Bible, you can pull it out. But it's 2 Timothy chapter 1, and it's verses 6 and 7. It says this: I remind you, Timothy, now I'm adding the name Timothy, I remind you, Timothy, to fan into flames the spiritual gift God gave you when I laid my hands on you. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline. I find that to be an amazing excerpt in Paul's letter, because the context is about serving, and notice the words: power, love, self-discipline, not timid, not full of fear. So serving is actually categorized in our spiritual library as a strength. It's a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. It's not like a slave that's being beat. It's like Christ who came to serve. It's like rising up. It's like becoming big enough to be small enough to help other people. Now there's a few points that I want to make about serving as you desire to follow Jesus. And you'll need to read the article to grasp all of this, but let me just cover these 3 points. The first one is this: to get this attitude of servant following Christ, you need to serve others as if you were serving Jesus. And the reason why I say that is because, let's face it, some people are just difficult to serve. If you have a boss that is a butthead, if you have a wife or a husband that's being difficult, if you have friends that don't seem very friendly at times, on and on and on, then you can get confused. You don't want to serve people with bad attitudes. You want to serve people who are appreciative. But in the Christian perspective, you need to look past the person that you're serving and realize that when you serve others with the attitude of serving Christ, you can keep your eyes on Christ. That is a powerful tip that I want to challenge you with. Here's the second one: serve God with the gifts that God has given you. Now, I'm not saying that God will never call you to serve in ways that are not your strength, but most of the time, God reveals to you, shows you areas where you need to serve that line up with your strengths. You like to do things that are in your strengths. So don't try to be a screwdriver if you know that God made you a hammer. Do what God made you to do, because you'll do it better, you'll do it quicker, and people will appreciate it more. The third thing about serving is to serve others with your whole self, meaning not just your strengths, not just your attitude, but along the way, you'll realize that you'll have opportunity, you'll have other skill sets, you have your hands, your arms to hug, your mouth to encourage. All of us are called to use our hands in godly ways, to use our mouth in godly ways, to use opportunities in godly ways. So use the whole package. So remember this: if you want to follow Jesus in service, serve others as if you are serving God, serve others with your strengths, and serve others with your whole package. If you do that, things will go better as you try to serve being a Christian. Thanks again. Until next time.